Hang on, I'm going to refresh it. Okay, I hope that's good for everybody. Our internet, for some reason, switches back and forth between 5G, which I'm not sure anybody has, and a regular. The regular one won't let very much internet traffic go through. I'm getting out my Himi palette. This is Gouache. And I'm just going to continue getting ready as folks come in. Hey, Joycey. I'm running a little late today. Whoops. I'm looking for something I can't quite find. I'm sure that comes as no surprise to anybody. And I'm probably looking right at it. But we've got to have something. Hey, kitty. Looking for something. I had trouble getting ready today. I shouldn't admit that. Don't just assume that I'm always ready. And I can't find anything to make a mark. Put that back. All right. I know something that will. You know, I have that pencil, a clip pencil from one of the kids' stores, and I have my my black grease pencil in it. But of course, I can't find it. I've been trying to clean the studio up. And I will be with you in just a minute. I guess you can see me do this. I just use an old packaging envelope. And what I'm interested in is the face. And I have a funny feeling I'm not doing the best work here. Get a rough hand. I like to practice drawing skill. But I did that yesterday on just a regular video. And it was awful. See, that goes on up in there. There's her sweater. Did we get it? I think so. Maybe. So, who else has come in? Okay. Whew. Put the colors up here to the side. Maybe we can make that work. I got my brushes in. Getting hooked up here on the phone so I can kind of keep up with who's here. Oh, that always shows me a good idea of who the lurkers are. Or, excuse me, not who they are, but how many there are. These colors are not my colors, but she's a little ethnic looking, beautiful girl. So if we put her right there, I'm just guessing at the thirds. Should be 2/3. So I think I'm in my winter Rip Van Winkle mode. Okay, so there's that eye. And there's that eye. There are 1,000,001 ways to get a drawing onto the paper. You can see that one, so I'll move over here. There. So that's going to be her eye. Be nice if I could see those, wouldn't it? I've got 2 brushes. One of them is a natural hair calligraphy. Can't get my chair right either. This is a textured paper. I think I am going to put some clear gesso on it. It won't hurt a thing. And not knowing what I put on this background, I know what part of it is. Use credit card today. Part of it is Ranger or Tim Holtz distress ink pads. And I haven't really had any trouble with those bleeding on me. But this has enough grit too that it will help hold whatever you put on it. And I particularly use this when I'm getting ready to work on a pastel, like work a pastel on one of these type backgrounds, because you do need grit. Well, the way I pastel, you need grit to hold it. And I was supposed to get that video, the girl's head, yesterday, and I had an operator error with software. And then today I thought, okay, I'll just do the second part of that. Well, that's stupid because y'all hadn't seen the first. That ought to do it. Now that will dry clear. And I'm going to help it just a little bit. Almost. Now, while I am sitting here looking for my apron, there she is. I want to remind everybody to log on to my blog, Vicki Roth. Actually, AXULLY.com, and make sure you're registered for my 2,000 subscriber contest. Not contest, it's a giveaway. And some nice prizes and all that is detailed on there. If you're new to this channel and like it, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe and hit the notifications. Let's see. And don't ever let a bad background stop you. You can always water down. Let's see if we need this. Come on. One. Make that work. You can always water down some gesso and just brush over it. And then, or some white gesso, and then take a Kleenex and just kind of model it around. Mottle meaning wipe some of it off until you like what you see. All right. Let me spray this. This is the little mixing tray from, good Lord, look at that. Oh, I think I've got green screen on. No. Let's see. Yeah, that's what it is. But there's no green screen behind me, so it is confused. None. There you go. Follow the directions and you'll be fine. This is the mixing tray on the Himi, so I've got it right in front of me, and I've got my big box with the colors over to the side. I sprayed. This is gouache, and that means it's opaque watercolor. And for anybody that's interested in the chemistry of it, opaque. Let me measure. Y'all, if you've watched me any length of time at all, you'll know that I measure religiously because it's a whole lot easier to fix it here than it is when you think you're through. Chemistry lesson. To make an artist pigment opaque, as opposed to watercolor pigment, which for the most part is transparent, gouache is designed to be mostly opaque as it comes out of the tube, and that plus just a damp brush is all you really need with gouache. So it's a different animal than watercolor. But in order to make an opaque paint, they grind the raw pigment into bigger particles. And those bigger particles, when combined, and we're talking about microscopic particles, but they're larger than the watercolor. The larger particles stop the light at the particle. And there's another big particle here. It stops the light. And the light going through to the paper is what gives it a glow that everybody treasures in watercolor. Okay, with me so far? Now, just imagine that we're doing watercolor pigment and it's this big. And my light can shine around that piece of pigment to the paper and bounce back. So that's the basic difference. You can use gouache thinned down as watercolor, but that's not what it's designed for, okay? There's nothing wrong with using any medium for a different use. You'll just be famous someday for being another Georgia O'Keeffe. But it's my job to explain to you why things are labeled the way they are. Both of those, gouache and watercolor, use the very same exact pigments if they're equal in the range of a particular producer. For example, their highest cost pigment or brand or department, or you know what I'm trying to say, line, their line of the highest priced one has the best pigments that you can find in the world. The lower priced ones will have artificial pigments or a little bit of ink dried into the cake of whatever it is. And so you get up here, you get better results. And as a beginner, this is down here with the ink and you don't know what all in it, or the lower quality pigment. This is basically for school kids. Find yourself somewhere in the middle that feels comfortable cost-wise, and you can just start with 6 colors. And I call this a split complementary. The primaries are red, blue, and yellow. And supposedly those 3 colors cannot be mixed with any other colors. They can make all the other colors, but you can't mix anything to make a true red or a true yellow. So you use a warm red, and that's a red that goes toward yellow or orange. A cool red tends toward purple. A cool blue, that's arguable. I usually use ultramarine for my cool, and a warm, I use cerulean, or phthalo, which is a warmish green. And then for yellow, I use the cooler one, which kind of looks like lemon. You can tell it's got a little bit of greenish cast. And then the warm yellow is a cadmium yellow that tends toward orange. And I know that's hard to take verbally, but just tuck that away in your little brain somewhere in case you ever want to know, and then you'll know where to go to find it. Me. Okay, now we've got those eyes. I'm going to check. Not quite. Make an accurate measurement, measuring. Perfect. I'm a sloppy measurer, so I always have to go back and do it over. Now that we've got the iris, the colored part, or the pupil. That's the black part. Then I can come in here and I can just measure to the side of her face and over here from the iris to that side. Now then, double check the whole face across the eyes. And there you are. Any questions? Jump in anywhere. All right, now from the iris down to straight down to the chin, or the beginning, the jaw is right here. Now that measurement should be equal to the other eye, and it is. It's just that that one is tilted up more. I mean, her head is shifted a little bit to the side. Actually, this should be up here a little bit. That's okay. Now then. And I'm going to measure from the iris to the corner of the mouth, which is about right here, and iris to the corner of the mouth, right here. Now we should have the same slant from here to here to here, and we do. From iris straight down is the nose. So the nose sits on this area. Mouth sits right here. Have I lost anybody yet? Don't you dare come down. I've got lights and stuff stuck everywhere. That's not gonna work. Maybe that'll work. No, I have it. Okay, that's good enough. We're gonna leave it there. That's the corner of the iPad. Okay. Ah. I'll move that down and tape it. Y'all can see it. I'll get it together in a minute. I'll put cling wrap over this Himi. Lots of folks, when they got their Himis, and it's an inexpensive set. I would say it's probably, if in quality, it's probably around the middle, which is fine. You can still get good look with that, and if you want to go further with it, you can. Okay, now from the middle of the mouth is the chin. Now then, connect the dots. In the corner of the mouth a little. And I missed that one too. No, that's about right. And then from the pupil to the hairline. Right here. Hairline. And this goes in a little. It's not a bad way to work. This is kind of what I call drawing for painting and not drawing for drawing. If drawing is the medium that you're using, you will not do your drawing like this. You'll use a more refined technique. But if you do that with painting, you end up wasting a lot of that effort. Now I'm going to check from the hairline to the chin, just about right there. I think her chin is a little less curved. There's something else about gouache that I need to be better at explaining. The reason is because I don't do it that way. True gouache was designed for illustrators, and it was used almost exclusively for magazine cover painters like Norman Rockwell, and all those illustrators of that time, because it was a matte finish and they could take pictures of it and photograph it without getting highlights and stuff because it's perfectly flat. Once those were photographed for the magazine, they were just filed. The paintings were just filed. So that gouache did not have to be, whoops, the babies are home. There you go, Joycey. The gouache that they used then was a designer's gouache. It was not an artist quality gouache. But instead of, I try to shade with my gouache because I like oil so much. It's really designed to just do a pocket of color and then change the color maybe right next to it on the color wheel and paint another shape. And I need to do that. Okay, where are we? You're talking. Okay, so let's check the width of the mouth. Yeah, it's a little bit off. This is what you call dropping a plumb line. I'm going from her iris straight down, and the mouth is about almost a ½ inch. So the mouth here is really about over here. Let's check this one. It's almost straight below, so that's better. Yeah. I'm just marking my Now then, the angle of her face is about like that. So that means her nose is going to tilt that angle. So we've got angle, straight. Yeah, so all of those are parallel to each other, almost always. It's a good way to start. Ah! We'll get some eyebrows on her. We'll measure again. Okay. Eyebrows should follow the shape of that brow bone. And then the other one should be right here. If in doubt, just measure. It's not cheating. Nothing is cheating. Because the whole goal is to enjoy the process. Okay, so we've got eyebrow. I think we come in some more right here. We've got space. And we've got eyebrow. Okay, we're good so far. Now then, I'm going to come straight down that nose and flare it out. And I'm going to take a plumb line look. It's just on that side. Okay, so that's correct, sort of. And then we have a little triangle thing for the bottom of the nose because her head is tilted back just a hair. And then this side, you can't really do that because it's not there. Her light is coming from here, which means that this side of her head will have shadows where this side won't. So make sure I got that right. I got it down just a little. Which didn't leave me much room for my eyelids. Which also brings that up. See how easier it is to change it? Now then, let's see what we got. A little bit of a damp brush. The eye socket is way up here. And it's not really around, but it's close. And then it comes down to here, this where the skin fold is, comes down to there. And that's the eye socket. Did I do the same thing over here? Not too bad. Okay, so the eye socket. There's all kinds of tricks that are used to explain this.
Honey, I'm home.
Okay. From mathematical hexagon shapes to, and it's all done so that the more you understand what it is, the easier it is to duplicate. So from the width of the eye, I don't think I'm there. So now this line, and then the the eyelid line intersects that ball that I had drawn on there. And then this is shading. Shading and shading. Now here, the brow bone curves in a little bit. The eye is recessed into those bones. Okay, now over here, we're going to intersect that. Doesn't look like much of nothing right now. I think I am out of practice. Right from the start, make sure your eyes are parallel to one another at some point. I'm going to key off this one because this other one looks goofy. So if this is my darkest point there, my darkest point over here will be here. Looks like something a kid would do. Not that kids are bad. This is just a damp brush that I'm using to erase with. So get this one right. I just keep a little bit of water right here. That's all I need. I just want to dip the tip in it occasionally. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. We have a natural tendency to want to straighten out this line. And I've got that too far apart. So her midpoint, the corner of her eye is right here. And it's higher right here. This comes down. Now, if that's so, why did those eyes measure? See, it measured good the first time I measured it. Remember the very first mark? Let me put the brown line on there and see where we are. Look, this comes up. We're getting there. Looks like y'all may have it to yourselves today. Check, wrong one. Let me check this again. Okay. And that should be the same. Okay. So I've kept my marks. Now her lower lip will be right here. And we've got a nose shadow. If you want to trace, that is perfectly okay. So now, it's better than where I started yesterday. I need a drink. Mouth. Now, nose. Eyes are too high. I'll be darned. Oh, I mean, I'm not surprised. Eye to the nose. Eye to the mouth. Mouth to the... Now that's interesting. So which is off? Look at that. Would you just look at that? You pull it down where the nose is what you key from. And I measured everything off of this. All right, where's this? Let's see if we can see it. Gosh darn it. Let me see if I can mark on it with this. Let's try the orange. Duh. This will definitely show us where we're off, or where I'm off. In the midline. Okay, so if I take the eyes, and I want this to line up with the top of the page horizontal because I did on that. And we can salvage the nose and the eyes, and the mouth is too high. So the mouth comes way up, and then her chin is up. But you got to determine where you're off. Gouache always remains workable. So we want that to come up. Just about 3/16. Some days you hit it out of the park perfect, and some days you don't. Okay. A little bit of rose in this mixture over here. Pretty well work with, at least till the very end, 3 tones the lightest light of skin tone, then the main skin tone, and then the greenish, pinkish, cooler. It's still too light. Let's add just a little bit of yellow ochre. And this is, that's better. It's like picking out a color of foundation if you still wear makeup. Yeah. Just gonna lump that right there. That's just about perfect for my, lighten it just a hair, for my main color. So I'm going to paint the entire thing Now I'm leaving my darker marks because after all that, I don't want to lose those measurements. Let's paint from underneath. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this color in for the eyeball color. There, isn't she beautiful? Clean that brush pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to go on to the next step. I'm mixing kind of a cinnamon color. I'll show you. It's got raw sienna, cobalt blue, and cad red in it. I'm rolling my brush in it to get a point. you need it to be lighter, just add some of your skin tone. Y'all still there? I'm going to switch to a striper brush. Let me see what they call liner. Mm-hmm. I get quiet, don't I? I'll check that one again. Where am I? Where am I? Okay. I'm going to carry on. It's a little bit too wet. Sure is boring, I know. I'm trying to get that eye right here, down here. Yeah, then that's better. Okay. A little bit of white right in here. Ah, I just stuck my arm in the paint. I hope if y'all don't learn anything else from me, you learn that painting is not a slam bam done kind of deal. And that's one reason why, another reason why I started doing mixed media, because I wanted to do something that had a faster completion rate on it. Okay, pull the cover back. I think I need some press and seal. Okay, back to where we were. Close. Okay, let's move on down to the mouthy. I just mixed some bluish red, like alizarin crimson or carmine, with a little bit of my flesh tone, a little orange to kind of try to get something to look kind of normal. No, I'm not bored at all. To me, this is a supreme challenge. But now you know me, I do get bored. I just worry about you guys. Of course, you got the option of not watching if you don't want to. All right, so where are you going with that? Mouth is crooked. Okay. There's always a challenge when you paint a face. Drawing color. Ooh. Okay, half inch up there. Okay, okay, okay. Plumb line from the iris of this side down to that mouth. And this is a little bit too wide right here. See how just a little bit can make a difference? Couldn't remember where I was going with it. I'm not being happy with that. Okay, which one is off? From the bottom of the nose. I can't really tell. That appears to be right. The brown is soaking through. So I might as well just go ahead and put some shading on here because that's what will make it come to life. Measure from the corner of the mouth. That's correct. And from the corner of the mouth to the chin, that's not correct. Chin. Okay. Under the lip to the bottom of the chin. Okay. Other side. Okay. What time is it? It's almost 5 o'clock. It's almost time to quit. It's so flat. Just looks like chalk. I'm going to quit in just a few minutes, so if anybody needs to go and haven't already, if you've done it already, you're already done. Now, when I start this back up, I will check measurements again. And then I will start working on color a little better. And tomorrow I think I'll clean my palette. Or maybe not tomorrow, but I'm not paying enough attention to my colors. And I need to do that. All right, guys. Put it on, take it off. Put it on, take it off. That's not going to take any more till it gets dry. Okay. Okay, there's still 6. All right, I'll keep going a little bit. Double check. Out. And that, my friends, is where it makes or break. Little bitty details like, and that is, okay. Okay. Now, all the little puffy features on her face will happen not from drawing, but from color variation. I'm not worried about any of the color variation now, except for you guys. Now, once you start getting a few layers on in gouache, you will hit a point where it's not real crazy about taking any more. Get your arm in there again. So you really have to wait then for it to dry. We are very close. And I don't understand why I keep getting there. It's there. There's something else throwing it off. Nice nose. It's close. Close enough, I think, for this stage. All right, now. Get some plain old green and plain old skin tone. I'm gonna dull that just a little bit of my brown mixture. Now this will become my shadow. And that's too much. Better. Every place that's in shadow, I'm giving it a little bit of this greenish cool color. Yeah. She has a perfect little Cupid bow mouth. Dude, dude, dude. I think I know. That helps. It's not what you wanted. Thanks, Annie. She's getting there. I'm a little bit out of practice. I've just mixed up a little burnt sienna with the skin tone. And I'm going to come down on top of this green. And hopefully get a little better look. Green, I'll say it again, green is cool. Red skin tone is warm. Warm colors come forward and cool colors recede. So, skin tone is a red, which is warm, and green is a cool. They're also opposites on the color wheel. Which means that the green will subdue the red just a little. Gray it down just a little, and that makes it recede. So why do you need to know this? Because in order to make a form look three-dimensional, instead of pasted on flat like children learn to paint until they can understand it, the green on the edges will help it curve, help her face curve. Oops. Just added a little bit more of the lighter skin tone. I'm following the shadow shapes. Comes down in a triangle like that. Evens out where that chin turns. This comes on down just a little. And it meets up with this one. And these hard edges will be dealt with later. Now this comes under. And don't forget, I told you that we have a tendency to try to straighten things out, be square with the world. And that's exactly what I've done with that mouth. But you reach a point where all the tracing and the tricks in the world can't help you. because the differences are so minute that you can't even really see where they're off on your tracing or whatnot, or by measuring your picture. Okay, so there, let's see. More water. I like to quit when I'm at a good place. As the one I did yesterday and then couldn't get the software to work for me. Left in a bad place and it looks awful. Now, I know I've told you guys many, many times you cannot do a face. Well, you can't do much of anything with your design laying straight down, flat on the table. You've got to have it parallel with your eyes. Now, a little damp brush. Now, I still haven't put my lightest light on. I see in some places the green kind of shows through because it wasn't totally dry. That's kind of what gives the illusion. I'm gonna let that set for just a minute, and then while it's doing that, I'm gonna clean up this nasty little section. My handy wipe's got a little crack in it. Okay, yeah. Sure wish I had a palette knife. No, I don't want to use that. There's one. Okay, so skin tone. Let me pull this up where y'all can see it. She's coming around. She had a little olivey skin, so I'm going to use Cad Red medium or deep. And a whole bunch of white. And then my green over here. Clean my palette knife off. Now, this is more how I do it when I'm settling in for an oil session. Kind of mix strings of color. And now we're going to pull that over into here, leaving some of your original color. And now pull that and that. And then pull into the green. Okay, so now we'll go back. Now I'm looking for something that's close. I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow ochre. That's good. Okay. Maybe too yellow, so if it is, add a little bit of red. Just dip in a little bit and add a little bit of red. Better, better. And different parts of the face will have different colors. Through the middle of the face, it's going to be warm because there's a little more blood running through that area. The chin gets a little more cool. I think really the top does too. Anyway, did I show you that? Was I just hanging on to it? I think I was just hanging on to it. And I went too far with that. Also took off part of my cover up. That's about right. Okay, I can see her in the mirror. She's kind of beginning to come out. I'm going to use just a little bit of white and work it in to that medium tone. And then pull this around. Dark, come on. We'll mix a little of the dark brown into that medium tone and get some of these darkest darks in here. Her chin is wider. I keep screwing it up. It's a little bit wider. Her face is a little more square than, yeah, you can really see that mouth beginning to need some. It's also looking, it's a little bit pinky. I want it to be darkish, but I don't want it to be too much. Isn't that funny? Looks like, man, you nailed it. No, you didn't. And what I am doing, the lip, the bottom of this edge of that lip has to slant the same direction as everything else. And if you start making it try to go straight, it screws up everything and you don't know where you are. And this curves down. And this curves like that. It's getting better. And that point is too high. It also slants and mine does not. And peek over here. Anybody got any questions? Okay, so this all gets dark. Come on now. Give me some dark. And this is dark up in here. And dark Comes down a little. The lip is curving back into the mouth. Now, in the midst of all of this, you'll lose your drawing. I'm still pretty much there. Now we'll do a little bit of that helped. Too much dark right there. Take care of that with I've got to move over the peak right here. And this one comes in like that. Still not up there high enough. Good for the shape. One-16th of an inch can make a difference. That's why I don't get bored. Bring that back down into skin color. How many are with us, Joycey? What are you doing? Okay. Starts out low, then comes up. Getting better. Mouth is too wide here. No big deal. Well, guys, it's looking better. Cupid's bow. Well, you can start to see it coming through. Yeah, baby. Get the paint off your hand. We're getting there. I'm just trying to. I just want to take a little bit out right here. All right. I think I'm quitting this time. Still need to make this upper lip darker. Okay, it's time to let it rest. She's not in a bad place. I certainly enjoyed you guys watching today. Feels good to be back in painting. All right, throw this nasty thing away. I need to add Press and seal. This is cling wrap, and I have to change it every day. Now, before I close this up, I'm going to spray it. I prefer fresh paint out of a tube. And this is fine when it's fresh. But it's not good or bad or better or worse or come on, go down there. It's just different. And there. Now then. Put that on there. And then put the lid down. I'm going to have to turn it upside down. There. Now there. Good. Glad you like it. Another session is just going to look completely and totally different. But we're sneaking up on it. Okay, guys. I love you. And I am over and out. And thanks for stopping by. And anybody who watches a replay, sorry I don't talk more than I do, but it's hard to do both. Bye.